classes may also be nested within classes. So notice that this testing second class was declared totally independently of the main app in this file, main-app.java, and we were able to use this second class in another class, which is also a public class somewhere in our package. So now the situation is a little different. Now we're trying to declare a class called inner class within the class. So what can you do with such a class? The use of it will be limited to the scope of this class. Basically, we just say that this will be usable within this class, and what you can do is that what you can really of course you can create instance variables. So instance variables will belong to this specific object of this type, but it cannot have static methods and variables. So it's really just a limitation, and the reason for this limitation is that this inner class can access all variables and methods, both static and non-static, of the outer class. It's a little strange. It's almost like the declaration of this class is happening for every instantiation of this class, outer class, that contains it. It's just the set of rules that you need to be able to follow. Now, if you want to lift this restriction and you want to say that I would like to be able to contain and create static variables and methods, then you need to declare this static class, basically static inner class. And in that case, it will be not redeclared for every instance here, because you can no longer access instance variables and methods of the outer class. So this behaves more or less like normal class declared here inside the outer class. But obviously its intention is to be able to use in a restricted manner within this outer class. So you will be able to see that the class files that are generated when your code is compiled would be like inner class name and the static class name, and so these are the names that will be used for compiled binary files, your class files generated by Java compiler. In addition to this, you can also have a local class. A local class is most restricted. It's declared inside the scope of a method. So here, this class is declared. Pretty much you can do anything you want here, but the only place where you can create objects of this type would be within this method. So sometimes on the server side, when you program a web application and you're trying to program certain requests from the user in your web server, sometimes you just call a single method, and there you want to organize your own environment and you want to do everything in a properly structured manner, so you can create and rely on these classes that are declared directly inside that method, and they will be their usage is restricted to the scope of this method, and of course objects of this type will be created inside this method only.